on.
Because they have no idea what's happening and what's about to happen.
Well, it depends. It depends who you are. If you're a person who's watching the show live and you've already been watching the show, then you're probably familiar with what's going on. But that would mean you watched Kyle's half of the show.
True.
Which is the first half of Awesome Hardware episode 62. Side A. Linked down in the video's description if you haven't watched it already. There you can watch us get to the point of inebriation that we are now at. We're doing okay.
I'm fine.
I'm alright. I'm good.
I feel good.
I'm good. We're good.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Awesome Hardware. Episode 62. This is half B on my channel. Awesome. Or Paul's Hardware. Awesome Sauce Network.
Right after you say we're doing good.
I was like, I'm good. I've got this. I got this. I'm on top of things.
We were doing so well.
Awesome Sauce Network is Kyle's channel, so check his channel out for other videos in the first half of the show. We've already discussed wonderful, fantastic things, such as what have we discussed? I don't remember.
68, 50K.
Yeah, 6850K.
Benchmarks.
Some benchmarks for that. That was cool.
Bananas.
That was cool. T-Rex Tech, thank you so much for your $1 donation. And yes, we can.
Whoop, whoop.
Thanks for calling that out. I just got some custom sleeved cables here, so we'll show you guys those. Since they just arrived, these are from Ensourced Custom. That's Ensourced, Ensourced. Here, Kyle, you hold that one.
They've been sourced from Ensourced.
These are what's going to be used on my wife's computer that I'm building. That I wish I could say I'm building this week, but I will be building it next week.
Did they come cable combed, or did you throw these combs on there?
No, they came with the combs.
Nice.
You just got to tell him what type of power supply you're using, and he will wire it up for that. So you'll notice here, for instance,
the smell of fresh cables.
It's a Silverstone power supply. So this one, it's got some goings on there in the middle, some crossovers. There's even a bit of a joint there.
Yep.
Yeah, but the ends themselves are all, they're all super clean.
Are these combs 3D printed?
Yes. He 3D prints the combs.
I was going to say, they look 3D printed.
Anyway, so there's the
awesome.
orange set going on in my wife's system.
Awesome.
It's going to be super rad.
Awesome.
I've been asking her what she wants to call it. She wants to call it Hotbox.
Hotbox. Oh,
Yeah.
I like it. Kind of like Hotline, a little bit.
It is kind of like Hotline.
That's why I like it.
That's probably why you like it.
Yeah.
It also insinuates
That's a cool name.
that she smokes weed or something, which she doesn't. But for some reason,
she's constantly blowing
cool with
weed
that.
into the case, hotboxing the case.
No, of course not. So T-Rex Tech, thank you for your donation. Holy crap, Vindelman
Damn, dude.
Johnson.
Woo!
Yes, more bananas for Kyle.
Yeah, that's infinite bananas for me.
I want to give Kyle a new banana right now.
All 50 of those dollars should go to my bananas.
They should.
Yep.
But they won't.
Son of a bitch.
Look, I'm sure
Don't deprive me of
we'll work that all out later. I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll figure that all out
Figure
later.
something out.
Matthew, thank you for your donation as well. This is the I'm disappointed in you money for sorry.
For hashtag blame
and
Paul.
Conrad, thank you for your donation as well. Hashtag booty, of course.
Booty.
Guys, donations during our live stream, of course, are fabulous. We will not say no to those in the least. But if you want to support us in a different way, you can check out our stores.
Yes.
Awesome Sauce Network's store is awesomesaucenetwork.com/store, I believe.
Yep. So yeah, I've got the Stay Positive. Well, don't buy a Stay Positive shirt or a CPU Cooler shirt because there aren't any left. They're all sold out.
They're all gone.
Yes, they are. I'll be restocking those soon. But the BIOS Flasher shirt is still well in stock. Here's a nice image of it right here. Oh, the beer's blocking it. Fantastic shirt.
It's a good
This
shirt.
is designed by our old Newegg coworker, Tina.
Yeah.
From Creative Tart Designs.
She's great.
She is excellent, and she does great work. Very high quality print as well. Speaking of which,
I
before
was wearing that shirt, and then Kyle arrived wearing the shirt as well, so I had to change.
it was a little awkward.
Yeah.
We looked pretty lame.
It was kind of awkward.
Really quick, there were two people who bought a shirt actually after we ended my half of the show. So really quick, pre-show Johnson shout-outs to Ivan for picking up a BIOS Flasher shirt. Johnson, my brother, as well as James Johnson. Again, a BIOS Flasher shirt in the heavy metal gray. There are two varieties. You can get the maroon or the heavy metal gray.
James gets a double Johnson.
Double Johnson!
Since I just double checked and the double Johnson was confirmed, he also picked up the tri-blend T-shirt Zero Insertion Force.
Nice.
Which I haven't even shown you yet. I'm
Do it.
pushing the wrong buttons.
Do it now. Do it.
Paul'sHardware.net if you guys want to pick this up. Zero Insertion Force. It's my shirt. Hope you like it. I think it's funny. I'm wearing one right now. You can't buy this one though. There it is.
Steven, thank you for the donation because I don't want you to feel left out for the Blame Paul donation earlier. I mean, you were my first YouTuber back in the egg days. Hashtag Kyle Strokes Bananas. I can't deny that.
Hashtag.
I can't deny that after what just happened
That's
an hour ago.
probably going to be trending very soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Well, all right. So we did some pre-show Johnsons. We talked about the merch. I'm drinking this stout, this Imperial Stout. It's delicious.
Espresso Oak Aged Yeti.
Kyle's drinking
by the Great Divide.
Oak Aged Yeti.
They're great, folks.
Cheers. Thanks to all you guys for being here. You're supposed to do it with the drink that has drink in it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And let us go right back into the tech news. Once I click that. Tech news.
Get on with it.
Trying.
You
have to move the mouse so
imbecile.
much. I have to move the mouse so much. All right. So starting out with an OC3D.net article about an NVIDIA GTX 1060 Ti. Maybe Ti. Is it a Ti? Is it not a Ti? I don't know. People don't know. It's not.
Only
it's not
Ti will tell.
Only. This is originally a videocards.net article. So they have listed here, as you can see, the pardon me, rumored information for the new NVIDIA GPUs coming out, the 1080, 1070, and 1060 Ti, maybe not Ti, maybe Ti.
Why do they think it's a Ti possibly?
They think it's a Ti because based on historical evidence of how they've arranged things in the past, the GP104, which is the Pascal-based GPU, that is not the GP110 or GP200 or GP, I guess it'd be GP100 or GP110 is what it would be called based on what they'd named them in the past. Right. But it's the more modestly sized one. And typically in the past when they've taken the more modestly sized one and they've scaled it down for lower end GPUs, they've called it not a 1060. Right. Because that would be like a GP105 or 106 when they make that GPU eventually. Right. But a 1060 Ti. Fair
enough.
That makes sense, right?
Good speculation.
Okay, so the rumor here, based on the mysterious source from videocards.com, wherever they get their information, says that the GP104 based GPU, whatever the 1060 may or may not be, right, would have 6 gigs of VRAM.
Damn.
Not GDDR5X.
That's nice.
VRAM, but GDDR5 VRAM. It's still a decent amount. Yeah. That 6 gigs compared to the 8 gigs that we're expecting of GDDR5 on the 1070, or the 8 gigs of GDDR5X we're expecting on the 1080. All of this, of course, being information that we have no idea if is actually accurate or not. These are rumors. It's probably all bullshit.
Yeah, I don't trust anything.
Nothing of this is accurate.
3D.
All bullshit. Steve, thank you for your donation. Are we more excited for Pascal or Polaris? I will say right now.
Polaris.
I was going to say Pascal.
Oh.
Right now. Based on what we're about to talk about. Or continue talking about, since we've already been talking about some pre-Pascal stuff. So, So yeah, 1060 Ti, this again is still in rumor land, but there is some baseless speculation about what that is or maybe. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on, we have another rumor here. Complete rumor. We have no idea what's going on.
What else?
Geforce GTX 1080 8 gig GDDR5X. We already kind of mentioned that in the last story. And GTX 1070 8 gig GDDR5. Okay, we already also mentioned that.
Are you sure it's not 7.5 gigs?
Kyle, calm down, Kyle.
Just maybe.
Calm down.
Maybe there's a small chance.
Getting all incisive now. All right, paper launching on May 6th. May 6th is in 3 days. Right now it's Tuesday. May 6th would be Friday in 3 days.
Yep.
At NVIDIA Editors Events. Market availability by Computex 2016 in June.
Sounds fun.
So, all right. This entire article goes over information that I will now show you and say this is what this article is saying. NVIDIA's next generation Pascal lineup launching on 6th of May. Perhaps will hit shelves in June. Beats AMD to market since, of course, Pascal, Polaris. There's been talk about both coming up.
Yep. Case is that?
Here's a picture of I think that's an Inwin case.
Huh?
I could be wrong though. No, wait, is it?
Looks like a transformer.
It could be I don't know. Anyway, here's the die shot of the GTX 1080, or supposedly with GDDR5X. That's it right there. It's a GDDR5X memory all around it there. You know, that's supposed to be new and sexy. There's also the 1070 using this GPU. A GP104 derivative, GP104-200A1. Look at the size of that die right there.
Tiny.
It's sexy when you know how big it is.
Or how small it is.
Or small.
But what it can do with that size.
And of course, what we've already talked about, the GTX 1060 Ti may or may not be Ti 6GB GDDR5. GP104-150-A1 is a GPU that one would be using. And here is some comparisons of different GP and GM GPU dies. Because people like looking at that sort of thing.
Yay.
So Kyle.
What?
All of this information here that we have just basically shared from this WCCF Tech article, do you have any comments to make or additional information to add to this information that has been shared?
Nope.
Okay, neither do I.
I know nothing other than what you've presented here in this article.
You're right. And we have not added or contributed any additional information other than what is already presented in this WCCF Tech article that is linked down in this video's description.
Right, so NVIDIA doesn't have to send anyone to our doorstep to kill us. Because we haven't broken...
Why would they? That's absurd for you to even bring up as a possibility, Kyle.
No, yeah, there's no reason why we would ever be in jeopardy if we ever leaked any kind of information about this stuff. All of this is rumor and speculation.
Yeah. Rumors.
I have nothing else to contribute.
Good. Okay. All right. Moving on. And in a completely unrelated story, which is obviously not at all related to the previous story that we've just talked about. Gamers Nexus has reported, I have reported, several places have reported this mysterious order of 10 box that has been shipped to various people within the PC, we'll say PC marketing review industry community. GamersNexus.net got one of these.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of these.
I did not.
Jay got one of these.
What the hell, NVIDIA?
All of the important people.
No, I know why too.
What an asshole I am. Why?
BDR asked me for my...
Just you shut your damn mouth right now with anything that you're saying. You seriously shut your damn mouth.
Big...
Nobody...
it stands for
Nobody said
else.
anything to you.
No.
We have no idea what this is all about.
Nope. This definitely has nothing to do with NVIDIA. That's for sure.
Get us killed.
Why would we ever be killed for anything, though?
Anyway, this is a mysterious ARG, or alternate reality game, that was sent out to quite a few different reviewers. This was the piece that I revealed, the astronomy piece. So I got this mysterious metal thing in the mail, and it had a code on it, and I went to this website.
Kepler.
And I entered the code. Yeah, the Kepler.
It says Kepler on it.
Kepler.
I wonder what
that's why people are suspecting, according to these articles, that this has something to do with NVIDIA, is based on certain references to scientists and engineers that they have used in the past to name their different series of GPUs.
Yeah.
Such as Kepler.
Right.
Okay. Anyway,
all
very fascinating. All very fascinating. It's the order of 10. I did a video on it because I got this box in the mail and it was very mysterious. I actually had a really hard time opening this.
How'd you have a hard time opening it if the box was already like half ripped open?
I had a hard time opening the Pelican case.
Right.
Because it was, anyway. So yeah, nobody knows. People know what this is already. You punch in. All right, I don't need to show you a video of me showing you a video of something else. I punched in the code, it opened this other thing. There's a bunch of people who think that it's something to do with NVIDIA and the GTX 1080 launch and the order of 10 being 1080 or 1000 series
of
GPUs.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's probably an AMD thing.
But
definitely AMD or
the
Intel.
Cool thing, so the kind of cool thing that all of this information that was revealed by these different boxes. Here's the box, by the way. Here's the box.
That's like something that you put a bomb in.
It's actually a really nice Pelican case.
It looks like pretty sketchy though.
Yeah.
It's definitely some terrorist quality.
Well, it's got some very high level, like, keep you from opening it shit going on. That's for sure.
You have to have posable thumbs to open it.
Yeah. Anyway, so
high barrier to entry.
Watch
your beer. Watch your beer.
And it's got the eggshell. Always looks very sexy in there.
You can smell the cocaine.
Lots of coke in there and everything. But yeah, the mysterious metal triangle, it dissolved in my hands after I entered the code.
It's self-destructed.
But yeah, it disappeared. Never to be seen again. Never. Why are you laughing?
Just waiting for what you're going to say. Just anticipating.
I'm just saying it dissolved and no one will ever know what happened to it or where it is.
I have a feeling it's like right in front of me. You have it, don't you?
All right. What was discovered based on the information derived from these different things that happened at different places was this. Orderof10.com/humanity shall be enlightened. Which apparently I can't center.
This is so deep.
I can't center on the screen. Humanity shall be enlightened, and it's just a timer, a countdown timer. 2 days, 14 hours, 45 minutes, and 36 seconds as of now. To what we can only assume will be the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, there's clearly a picture of the world being shattered.
Yeah.
Into a million
The world
pieces.
is being destroyed and tessellated into its constituent polygons.
Triangle asteroids.
Right. Yep, I'm freaked out. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Alright, so moving on.
Huh.
What the hell is this?
Wonder what that's gonna turn out to be.
Only time will tell, Kyle. We have no idea. Alright, moving on. Intel's 7th generation Kaby Lake Core i7 7700K CPU has been leaked.
Okay.
This is a WCCF Tech article. We also have a Core i7 7500U and a Core M77Y75.
I see it. I see the metal triangle, by the way. People in chat, thank you.
What are you talking about,
it's
Kyle?
over there. It's right behind your gold lighter.
No.
In between the cooler and the Hall of Fame card is the
see
metal
it.
triangle
It's not
you said
there.
had disintegrated earlier.
It's
but clearly that is it. It looks exactly the same, and you are hiding something from us.
I don't know what you're talking.
What are you hiding, Paul?
I don't see what you're seeing.
The
Kyle.
truth will come out sooner or later.
The truth will save us all.
With or without you.
Jesus. Wow, you really do have a lot of that Yeti left.
Yeah.
You've also been living off of like palm fronds for the past week. So,
one sip just gets me buzzed.
So it probably doesn't take too much.
No, it doesn't.
Not
Tolerance
at all.
has been shot.
I'm looking forward to dinner after we're done here, which is going to be lumpia. Which I believe my lovely wife is actually working on right now.
I love lumpia. Google it if you don't know what it is.
Lumpia. All right, so
proceed to drool.
Back to this fascinating news story from WCCFtech.com.
I'm fucking Googling it.
So the way this was actually leaked, this information about these Intel Kaby Lake processors, was via Sysoft Sandra.
Who?
Sysoft Sandra.
You know what it reminds me of is Kaiser Soze.
Kaiser Soze.
I don't know why.
Kaiser Soze. Latimer Kaiser Soze. Yes, exactly. No, Sysoft Sandra, which is it's like a benchmarking application.
Ah.
So results were submitted with these. Oh Jesus, I'm so hungry.
Sorry, I'm googling pictures of Lumpia right now, and Paul cannot focus on the show with this open in my browser, so I'm going to close it.
All right. So, anyway, Sandra results were submitted for these new CPUs, which is kind of surprising, but hey, people who are running benchmarks and shouldn't have been connected to the internet while they were doing them did.
And this is still rumor stuff?
And now we have information. Well, I mean, yeah, it's rumor.
It's WCCF Tech.
It's WCCF Tech. But anyway, Kaby Lake processors are 14 nanometer processors, so they're based on the same manufacturing process as Skylake. They're an extension of the TikTok process, which has been changed recently. We've kind of discussed this. We've gone from TikTok. Tick is in a process upgrade. Tick is in a process shrink.
Yeah.
Talk is in an architecture upgrade. Now they're going a 3-step process, which is the process shrink, the architecture upgrade, and then the architecture optimization.
Right.
So Kaby Lake is architecture optimization.
Mm-hmm.
It is the double talk to Skylake's talk. Talking again. All this kind of talk is getting me excited.
Getting me ticked.
It's getting me ticked. Exactly. Good, Kyle. That's why you're here.
Those little gems.
Okay, so the information that was leaked about these new processors, the 7700K as well as the other two processors, are... I'm going to switch because reading them is easier than showing you guys all this tiny text on the screen.
Yeah.
The 7700K is a flagship, so it's kind of the equivalent to the 6700K right now.
Yep.
Not changing as far as the number of cores. It's still going to be quad core with hyper-threading, so the same as the 6700K.
Yeah.
The frequencies listed are the same as well as the 6700K with 3.6 gigahertz base clock, 4.2 gigahertz boost clock. That could change.
Mm-hmm.
It's been known to change in the past when it comes to early results from benchmark tests such as these, especially with early engineering samples.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's got an 8 meg L3 cache, 256 kilobyte L2 cache, and a 4 gigahertz internal memory controller, or IMC.
All right.
It's also got built-in graphics since it is a mainstream processor. It is whatever the next generation Kaby Lake graphics integration is. It's got 24 execution units and it's running at 1,150 megahertz, which is the same frequency that the 6700K integrated graphics ran at. So not a whole lot to speak for there.
Sure.
Matthew Thompson, thank you for your donation, sir.
Hey.
What CPU do you recommend for gaming or streaming? I'd say go for a 6600K or 6700K. But if you're really into it, then go for 5820. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that much more expensive.
Sure. If you're thinking 6700K, then a 5820K is not out of range.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, they're expecting a new series of motherboards to go along with these. So right now we have the 100 series motherboards like Z170s. We're expecting 200 series motherboards like Z270s, or so we would assume. Beyond that 7700K that we already talked about, we also have an i7 7500U, which is a U.
Low power?
Yeah, U is a low power one, so... Anyway, there's the 7700K's preliminary specs compared to like 6700, for example. Pardon me. Anyway, 7500U is a Kaby Lake U low TDP mobility processor. So, I don't know. Are you interested in that?
Mobility processor?
Or like a low power processor?
Not really.
I kind of am. I kind of am because I'd like to have a system that is like a media aggregator that has like the connection to a like a cable card type device or something like that. It's like getting cable coming in on one hand, but that uses like not much power at all.
For something that's on like most of the day,
yeah,
for example?
Something that's like on 24/7, like a cable or HTPC system that's doing.
But even like an unlock SKU that's idling doesn't draw much power at all.
That's true, but these draw even less. So the 7500U is Kaby Lake U. The family is built for ultra low power platforms. This is a 2-core with hyper-threading processor, so you get 4 logical threads, 2.7 gigahertz base clock, 2.9 gigahertz boost clock, 4 megs of L3 cache, 512 kilobytes of L2 cache. And the results that were displayed on SciSoft Sandra were DDR3. We're using DDR3L, so low power DDR3 memory. However, we are told via this article and wherever else that Kaby Lake U will also be compatible with DDR4L as well as LPDDR4. I don't know which of those uses less power.
LP or
DDR4L sounds like DDR4 low power. LPDDR4 sounds like low power DDR4. I don't know which one's less.
I don't know.
Anyway.
So this is going to be a desktop chip that you can buy, and it's going to be socketed.
It might be BGA socketed.
Okay.
I don't know if you'll be able to buy socketed versions, but maybe.
Okay.
You know, maybe like the low end LGA 1151. CPU might be this that uses really, really low power.
Sure.
Anyway, the last CPU talked about here is a even lower power CPU, the Core M7 7Y75.
That's not confusing.
Core M7 7Y75.
Let's make a SKU that's like a tongue twister.
Pardon me.
That's what someone at Intel said. M7
Makes
7Y75.
zero sense as far as branding when it comes to like actual SKUs goes. But anyway, the 7Y75 is a Kaby Lake Y Core M processor. Super low TDPs. That means less than 4.5 watts.
Yeah, Y exactly.
Which is really, really low. Really, really low power.
Potato.
So depending on the performance of this, something like this that could operate for an HTPC, I mean, when you talk about a device that's on 24/7 and you're paying your electricity bill, having options for that is, I consider it to be pretty useful.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a 2-core with hyper-threading processor, so again you get 4 logical threads, 1.3 gigahertz base clock, 1.6 gigahertz boost clock. And that is all.
Sweet.
That is all.
Love it.
All right. What's next?
You have a new segment.
I do have a new segment.
And
you're right, Kyle.
It's all about the platform we love to hate most. But we also love to love it occasionally. It has been good to us.
It's new segment.
Times.
New segment's called The Tubes.
The Tubes?
The Tubes.
I don't believe you're talking about the internet tubes.
No,
here.
We're talking about specifically the YouTubes.
Since the internet is really just a bunch of tubes.
So we're going to talk about some developments among YouTube. Since Kyle and I both have YouTube channels, it's kind of our
it's like totally we know
job,
everything.
I guess.
Yeah.
To some degree.
It's like our home.
Also something we want to keep up with. So, Kyle, I don't even know how much of this stuff you're familiar with as far as what's happened recently.
I have heard about this first story.
All right, so YouTube is making a big change to the Content ID system. This is a Kit Guru article.
Yeah. This is a good thing.
There's a chart right here. I'll show you a better picture of it in a second. There you go. Anyway. So, basically, improving Content ID for creators is the goal of this particular project from YouTube.
Finally.
So currently, if a claim is made on YouTube, monetization immediately stops, which means that the creator isn't given or making any money during the first few days of their video going live.
This is the old way.
This is the old way. And Kyle, you know as well as I, when does any video that you post get the most views?
When it's good?
Like at the
very beginning.
Yes, when you first post it.
Yeah.
The first, say, 24,
when it's fresh, of course.
24 to 48 hours
yes.
is vital for any video that's posted because that's, like Kyle said, it's when it's fresh.
It's when all your subscribers see it for the
when
first
it's
time.
new, that's when people come and watch it. So the problem now is that if a claim is made, that suddenly that's like put aside and suddenly like your video that you just made isn't making any money.
Right.
And yes, you have recourse for going about the ways of fighting or disputing whatever claim was made against it, but you don't get the money back.
Right.
The money's gone.
Yep.
So that's kind of shitty. Anyway, so this New method is going to be improving content ID for
I'm
creators.
not bored. I am completely engrossed in this conversation. Shut up. I'm not bored. I'm not drunk either.
There was a large social media campaign, hashtag WTFU.
Where's the fair use?
I participated a little bit in this. Where's the fair use? Headed by YouTubers Grade A Under A, as well as Channel Awesome, or also known as Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
Hashtag make YouTube great again.
I was definitely shooting out that hashtag when I had my copyright issue.
So
about a month ago.
For sure. Kyle has dealt with this directly.
Yep.
So yeah, basically the new way that YouTube is going to be doing this, starting soon. I didn't get a date on when this begins, but so first, what?
Sorry, just really quick. Cell is like reassuring everyone in Twitch chat that I'm honestly not very drunk because he has seen me very drunk before.
Oh yeah.
And he can distinguish
in person live.
In person live. Not live like this, but like live. IRL live.
There's stages, and we're not saying that Kyle is like at the first stage or anything like that. He's definitely progressed a little bit, but he's nowhere near the last stage.
No. I can still say words.
Where we need to worry. Yeah.
My clothes are still on.
Right.
Things tell us this. Okay.
So the way this is going to work now is first you or I make a video and post it, right? Okay, then let's say a claim is placed on that video. The video would still generate revenue in that case, and that revenue would be held, almost like set aside in a separate little vault, a special little area by YouTube.
Sure.
This little bubble cloud of money.
I like that.
Just making money. Is it your money? We don't know yet. We don't know. We'll figure it out. But it's a little bubble of money. Keeps getting bigger as the video gets views. If the copyright claim is disputed, you as a maker of content got this claim on your content. You immediately, because you're a good creator of content and you're not spamming shit, look at it, see it was claimed, and you're like, hey, no, that's not right. You dispute it.
Right.
Okay? The money is still held in the little bubble. All right?
Yep.
Revenue is still being generated, though. People can still watch the video. The payout would go to whoever wins the dispute.
Right. That's how it should have been in the first place.
That makes sense. Why? Yeah. Why didn't it already work like this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know why it didn't already work.
Probably
like this.
Because YouTube was like, well, we can just make a shit ton of money on in-process disputes.
Yeah. By
not paying out either party while the dispute is happening. I'm sure YouTube is taking a huge loss themselves by implementing this program.
Yeah.
This amendment to their policy, because initially the money that would have been originally been made either by the disputer or the disputee was going to YouTube.
Yeah.
Neither party was getting it during a dispute.
And the reason a lot of these people were complaining about this is because these disputes would happen. They would happen erroneously, or they'd be abusive disputes that were placed against their video, and said like, oh, we're claiming this content via content ID or whatever.
Yeah.
And like then that meant that video that you worked on and posted for the first 24 or 48 hours, like sure you could go back and fight it or whatever, but all of the bulk of the benefit you got from making that video is just gone.
Right.
All right. So this.
By the way, hello to Pistol in chat.
Oh, hey, Pistol.
Haven't seen you in a while in chat, so...
We haven't.
Hello. Welcome to this shit show.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoy it as much as you possibly can. She isn't saying much, but...
I haven't watched too much of Pistol stuff, but I feel like she also likes to drink while she streams, so...
So drinking while watching people stream...
Maybe we got that going for us.
It's kind of a thing.
Yes.
Anyway, that's what you're into.
The expectation is that this will lower or reduce the effect of copyright trolls, which is nice. And YouTube, at least in their blog post and what they said, has reaffirmed their commitment to fair use. Their commitment to fair use, which I also think
it's a step in the right direction.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Good.
Yes, indeed. All right, moving on.
Good, YouTube. Good job.
Moving on to the tubes. YouTube is getting a material design look and feel.
I thought it said maternal. I was like,
a maternal design look and feel. Yeah, right?
No, you were doing so well in the last article.
There's these... This is a Verge article, and there's actually these instructions for how you can go in and force it to do it, but I actually think...
Force it to do what?
To give the new look.
Oh.
But...
It's like rape. Forcing it upon them.
I think it was just happening, yeah, right? Isn't this new?
That looks like Coconut Monkey.
Here's your Jay's 2 cents video. Let's see what his page looks like. Is this different?
This looks exactly the same.
It's the same? Okay, never mind. Never mind. I don't know, I'm in the wrong
Why
thing.
are you looking at Asian dating websites, Paul?
I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Why are you on a free trial for...
Alright. So it's supposed to look like this.
I won't tell your wife, don't worry.
This is what... No, when we were looking at a video on your half of the show, it looked like this. And I think we had gotten connected to whatever server it was that was doing... This is the
new look?
material design screenshots of the new look. So basically it's super clean. There's nothing there going on there besides you got a screenshot of the video, text about the video, button. There's nothing.
This is the search? This is a search page? Oh, no, this is the channel page.
This is the channel page.
It looks the same.
It's not quite the same.
I mean...
No, it's not quite the same.
It looks very similar.
It's very similar.
This looks a little different.
This looks a little different.
But kind of the same.
But it's still kind of the same.
What are the main changes?
It's material design. It's a different look and feel.
Okay.
I'm going to post the link in chat.
I'm not hip enough to get what that means right off the bat.
Vote on this stuff. Everyone vote.
I spilt beer.
Stop spilling beer. This is a material design, Kyle. I mean, come on. Look. I don't know.
Didn't you learn about this? Don't you know? I don't know what
here's the
material
Verge,
design
right?
is.
Here's the Verge by itself.
I failed my web design class in college. That's not true. I got a C.
Well, that's a passing grade.
Yeah. But not the kind of grade that you would get to know what material design is.
Okay, here. God damn it. Here's the Verge right now. Here's the Verge YouTube page.
Spacecraft to Mars!
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can see
This is
that.
the old one? The old version?
This is the old version.
Okay, I'm looking. I'm here to spot the differences.
Remember what this looks like.
I got it.
It's going to change.
It's in my mind.
It's going to change right now.
I branded it into my prefrontal cortex.
Now that's the other version.
It's blue! Oh! So they've bluified it. They've made
it blue.
Some of the white parts are now blue.
Everything's going to be blue, and that's what people have to deal with.
Upset with this. I'm going to go spam YouTube's page as soon as I get home, because I hate the blue.
Here's the search.
It sucks.
Here's search results.
That's just... I'm so fed up with
Who's
YouTube
going to be able to find anything?
making things different colors.
I don't know. I think it's kind of nice. I kind of like it.
So everyone's going to have blue?
No, not everyone's going to have blue. Have you looked at a YouTube channel on the app on your phone?
Yes.
Have you noticed that every YouTube channel has a color for the background around the edge that's just associated with whatever the banner is?
Oh, okay.
They take the banner, whatever accumulation of colors is going on in your channel banner.
Yeah, right.
They kind of merge that together and they make a color that your channel appears to be.
Right.
That's what that blue is.
So this is just the same thing they've already been doing for the mobile app, but just for the web.
Yes.
Why didn't you say that? Why you got to go in this material design?
Because that's what the
rampage.
article said. The article said it's material design. I assume that's important.
You're just following the leader,
Right? That's what it says. No, that's content ID. That's the wrong thing.
Get on your right tab.
Not on
Get
the right
your
tab.
tabs in order.
Anyway.
Well, okay. Then that's not really a huge thing.
Why can't I go back? I
don't know.
I can't do anything here.
I feel like that's less clean. Sometimes you just want your banner to stand out. Why don't they just let you change the color of that region? Why do they have to automatically...
I don't know.
Remember when YouTube let you do whatever the fuck?
Yeah, it's because
With your
they're just
profile?
forcing stuff upon you.
It's just web design, web rape.
All right, let's see what people think.
What do you think of the new material design look? It's beautiful. It's okay. Meh. Yeah.
Most people
isn't
say
it's
meh.
okay and meh the same thing?
No, meh is indifferent. It's okay is
Oh.
I don't mind it. Meh is I don't even want to bother responding.
I feel like it's okay is kind of indifferent too. It's it doesn't get me hard, but I don't want to kill a baby.
But it doesn't
from looking at it.
doesn't take much anyway, so. I agree that if it's not inciting people to kill babies, then I'd say that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Alright, so there we go. There's the votes.
Meh.
Meh.
To sum up the article.
All right. What the hell is next? Oh no, actually the next article is kind of funny.
What is it?
Funny or interesting or whatever you might want to say.
Scared.
All right, so Jim Sterling, speaking of YouTube.
Oh, this guy's awesome.
He's a YouTube content creator.
He's fucking hilarious.
He does reviews. He does game reviews. He's a game critic. This is a screen cap from one of his videos. And he has basically done something that is pretty damn awesome, which is to do a workaround, so to speak, for YouTube's copyright BS, some of which we've already been talking about today.
Right.
So what Jim did is he knows, for example, that if he does content with Nintendo content in it, he knows Nintendo's going to flag that.
Right.
Because Nintendo has all their stuff logged into Content ID, and anything Nintendo related that you try to post on YouTube, they will flag and they will monetize for themselves.
Sure.
So what he did is he took multiple videos that he knew would be flagged for Content ID, that he knew already had that digital print fingerprint saved on YouTube so that it would be flagged, did multiple versions of that, and just put them intentionally in his videos. So what
his own videos?
In his own video.
He put his own videos that would have been flagged in his videos.
Yes. So
Videoception, basically.
So he included stuff in his video that he knew would be flagged in this Jimquisition review of a Nintendo game.
Okay.
Right?
I love his little setup.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So he has a bunch of stuff going on, and he's got footage, but he also randomly switches to other stuff. He does different footage from some other games, but all he was trying to do is get flagged multiple times.
Okay.
Because when you have multiple flags on your video for Content ID recognition, it basically says there's a conflict and no ads can be served on that video.
Right.
Which is his intent all along.
Okay.
Because he cares nothing. Because he's of a substantial enough size that he makes enough money from Patreon that he doesn't have to worry about making money on YouTube.
Okay.
So he doesn't care about the ads playing before his video.
Yeah.
So he's like, I want an ad-free experience. But even if he wants an ad-free experience and he sets up those terms on his video that no ads should be played, no pre-rolls, no whatever, if Nintendo flags his content, then they will play ads on his content and they will make money off of monetizing it due to the Content ID system.
Right.
So by putting multiple content in his video that was automatically flagged by the Content ID system by multiple locations, so
he's just doing it to prove a point.
Right here, Take-Two Interactive, WMG, and Nintendo all flagged his video.
Right.
Because multiple flags happens, it sets his video as cannot be monetized and no ads play.
Oh, because multiple on the same video.
Yes.
Gotcha. So
he gets what he wants. He gets no ads played on his videos.
Right.
And the BS Nintendo and whatever automatic Content ID systems set up to flag his content, they get zero profit from what they're doing as well. Because
it's being flagged by so many different sources that YouTube algorithm doesn't know who to pay out.
Yes.
So it just says, we'll cancel monetization altogether.
It turns off monetization.
Right. Brilliant.
And
Brilliant.
It sets it to cannot be monetized. Mm-hmm. And it's just a freaking... It was an awesome use of the kind of flawed YouTube Content ID system for flagging copyrighted content.
Right.
Using it against itself and getting exactly what he wanted at the same time.
Right.
Now, granted, for anyone who wants to do this on their own videos, who might be a YouTuber, it's not going to work for you quite as well if you rely on YouTube as your source of income. Kyle and I, for example, I know I couldn't necessarily give up my YouTube ad revenue right now. Kyle, yeah, probably not as well. But still pretty cool that somebody could do this to prove a point, if nothing else. Okay.
That's freaking awesome. I really like that.
I thought that was pretty cool. All right, let's move on to Sword Fight. And for Sword Fight, I have a bit of a precursor story to talk about Apple's Fingerprint ID. So, you know, a lot of new Apple products allow you to use your fingerprints to log into them, right?
This is Sword Fight, right?
This is Sword Fight.
Okay.
But I'm giving us some pre-story here.
No, yeah. All right. So what about their fingerprint ID?
So this article from Wired is about the fingerprint ID might mean that you can't take the fifth.
Oh my god, it smells so good.
Doesn't it?
Oh, I can't even.
I'm so hungry.
I'm so glad that I can actually eat it after this show.
Yes, you can.
Unlike the pizza last week.
You can, Kyle.
Oh.
All right, so.
Amazing.
So the Fifth Amendment, if you live in the United States, basically says that you cannot be forced to provide evidence that incriminates yourself.
Sure.
Okay?
I plead the fifth.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, in court cases where you would go in and, let's say, for example, just to be very accurate here, you were involved in a court case and they're like, all right, you have all of this information on these hard drives that you have saved and it's encrypted, and this information would incriminate you. You know the code, whatever, code that or password that could unlock these drives. You need to give that to the government so that they can look at the drives and do whatever.
No, I plead the fifth.
You would be able to plead the fifth, and there's nothing that the government could do to access that information. Consider, for example, the comparison of information on your smartphone. Right? Information on your smartphone is often tied to, say, accounts like your email account, that kind of information. Often there's enough information accessible on your smartphone that's basically equivalent to what you might have accessible on a desktop or that kind of thing. Personal information you might not necessarily want to give up, especially if you're involved in a criminal proceeding, for example.
Sure.
Pleading the fifth means that you can't incriminate yourself, but if that information is available elsewhere, for example, if you had written down the password to your account somewhere, you could not plead the fifth to prevent that written down information from being presented in court or used to access the information to incriminate you.
So someone else could use that password to check your...
If you wrote down that password somewhere,
right.
It's the difference between it being available somewhere physically and it being in your head.
Ah, I see.
When it's in your head, you can plead the fifth, and you cannot be forced to divulge that information.
Right.
If it's somewhere else outside of your head, well, then it's fair game.
So playing the whole pleading the fifth thing, it protects you from Kylo Ren's method, his Jedi mind trick, where he or not Jedi, but when he's trying to extract information from who's the pilot?
Rey?
No, the pilot.
Han? Oh,
well, he does try to extract it from Rey too.
Poe Dameron?
Poe or Rey, when he's trying to pull it from their brain.
Yeah.
You can't do that according to this law. You can't force someone to say what's in their mind if it's only existing in their mind. However, if it's in a physical location, then that can be presented in a court of law.
So here's where
written down.
So here's where the difference is.
Just wanted to make a nerdy Star Wars reference.
No, it's a good one. All right, so let's assume you have a smartphone, and you have very, very important...
We don't have to assume.
Let's say condemning information about yourself on that smartphone. Two ways you might access that. One, let's say the way you access it right now. You have a Samsung phone. How do you access your phone right now?
Fingerprint.
You have the fingerprint thing?
Yes.
Okay, then this definitely applies to you. I don't have the fingerprint thing. Okay.
You don't? Okay.
I don't have the fingerprint thing on my phone.
All right.
I have a code or a password or a design that I punch in.
Uh-huh.
That's in my head. Your fingerprint is on your finger. Which is basically, in accordance with what they're talking about right now, the same thing as having it written down somewhere. So if you're using
written on my finger.
So if you're using your fingerprints to access the information on your phone, and you have information on your phone that might be damaging to you in some way or incriminating in a legal proceeding,
you have to give it up.
Pleading the fifth, whereas if you had it encoded in one way where you would have to divulge a code from your mind to say, all right, you need to punch this in order to access it, versus, well, scan your finger, and now it's there.
Interesting.
So you are not legally protected from the information, for having the information on your phone being available if you're using something like a fingerprint ID.
Because you're accessing it with something physical like a key or a fingerprint as opposed to something that's in your mind.
Yes, indeed. All right, see?
I'm changing my login method now.
Perhaps and hopefully more deep than
doing a pattern shit
than you guys might have expected. All right, so we have a straw poll. This is of course supposed to be at least a sword fight. So
Guilty.
Let's post a straw poll for you guys.
Thank you, 3-Leg Dog, for the donation. About time you got a haircut, you GD hippie cow. What's GD?
Goddamn
hippie cow. Hashtag 420 no scope infinity blaze it in space. That is probably the most epic hashtag I've ever seen. Love y'all. Thank you all for the hard work. Hashtag. Thank you for the donation there, dog.
All right, so the question here we're going to argue is, should we all burn our fingertips off with acid?
I am going to do that right after the show.
All right, so done?
Or done. Or you could just change the way you log into your phone.
Possibly. Done? Maybe we should stick to using pins instead. What if we biometrically accessed or authenticated using some other body part?
Like your penis?
Like your penis. Or I did acid once, man.
Calling wife.
We have all these options. Kyle, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to say...
Let's make this quick, too. We're already over time.
Okay. Just stick to pins. Using pins. If you use pins, it's the easiest solution out of all of these.
That's sensible.
It's just the easiest. And why not? There's nothing wrong with pins. It's in your mind. They can't use that against you. You're not forced to log into your phone or reveal any incriminating evidence. The best passwords are the ones that are memorized, not the ones that are written down. So, going with that logic, you cannot possibly argue a better solution.
That's good. I agree.
Yep. Oh, wow. That was easy.
I'd never considered that to be an option on Sword Fight, but maybe we just agree.
Maybe we don't fight.
We don't have to fight over it.
Maybe it's not a sword fight, but a sword embrace.
And that's just how things go.
Yeah.
Or also a way to efficiently move the show.
Oh, this is a three-way tie.
This is actually very close here.
Damn.
This is moving.
Although we gave them about 5 seconds to vote.
We didn't give them a whole lot of time, but we have already got 200 votes in here.
Wow.
Really spread though. Like really, everything's between 19 and 27, 29%.
Acid once, man. 39 of you have dropped the LSD.
Hey. I had to put that as an option. What is winning? All right, so winning is maybe we could just stick to using pins instead. That seems to be the sensible option here. Yeah. Although just not as convenient as fight with my finger and then it lets me in here.
It is nice.
But hey, you know, the legal side of it is maybe something that people don't consider.
Yeah.
So
true.
Now you know. All right. Next up is something a bit more fundamental.
What is it?
A fundamental question of, is technology good or evil?
Wow.
Since we've already talked about technology to some extent this evening and its use in society.
We talk about technology every evening.
For us. And, you know, this is an older article. I'm just pulling it up so I can have something visual to show people. But technology, so there's two kind of schools of thought when it comes to technology being good or evil. And you know what I should do is post a straw poll so people can actually vote on this.
My straw poll link isn't working. Oh, there it is.
Why not?
It's working.
All right, so technology being good, and just before we choose sides here, is usually sort of the rose-tinted glasses look at what's going on right now, which is that, you know, we've had a massive surge in technology, advances, industrialization, what have you, over the past 100 years or so.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's allowed us to do lots of amazing things, lots of incredible things, whether you're talking about medical advances, whether you're talking about what else, you know, exploring in space or communications. I mean, there's lots of examples of technology being good, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or maybe technology's evil. There's plenty of examples.
Terminator.
Plenty of examples of this. Generally speaking, you're looking at the longer game, the longer narrative when you're talking about technology being evil. There's the idea that technology gets to a certain point where, you know, if man is inherently, you know, combative, that technology will eventually be used in wars or the advancement of weapons that, you know, create destruction for people.
Or that it'll become self-aware.
self-aware robotics, AI, that kind of thing happening. There's plenty of narratives that tell stories of humanity rebelling against technology, deciding that technological advances are causing more harm than good, so people suddenly start destroying all technology, kind of like a massive book burning or something like that.
Yeah.
And revert back to agrarian lifestyle because it's more simple and more wholesome or that kind of thing.
We're all going to be Amish one day.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of examples of this. There's lots of kind of dystopian examples, but ultimately, I think we have to decide one way or another.
Okay.
And where else are we going to decide but here? So, Kyle, the ultimate question, I think, technology, good or evil?
I went first last time, so you go first this time.
All right, I'm going to say evil. Technology is evil, and
Wrong.
it's going to lead to the
Wrong.
destruction of everyone. You see,
No.
as technology advances, it teaches people how to be, as they might perceive it, more efficient. Because what technology needs in order to work is electricity. Electricity is derived from power. Power is derived from there's lots of different ways to get electricity, but ultimately, all of the ways that we know how to get electricity right now that aren't like rocket science or just sort of a farce are ways that create pollution. Pollution will lead to the contamination of Earth as a whole. We've already dealt with massive amounts of problems from global warming. It's only expected to increase in the near future as stuff gets worse. And much of this is caused by industrialization and technology. I think we should all destroy our computers. And anyone who's watching this information, especially right now over the internet, you're part of the problem. And you're causing baby seals to die.
Our viewers just dropped to 3.
Look, it's a harsh reality, Kyle, but we can't sugarcoat
They've all left.
things.
Why did you do that?
We can't sugarcoat this. All
Damn
right?
it. Paul?
So yeah, technology is evil, and everyone repent.
All right. Technology is good, all right? Because, they're...
Because,
That's the beginning of
just
every...
look at it, man.
That's the beginning of every great argument. It's like, well, something's such and such and such because,
Come on.
And then like an epic explanation follows that.
Exactly.
But it's good essentially because it has the capacity to do good. Like guns, right? Like firearms. People are so scared and like guns are the devil. Guns should be bad. Guns should be outlawed. But it's not guns that are the problem. It's knowledge. It's people who don't know how to use them or how to respect firearms or how to use them properly, and then shit goes haywire. If you can find a way to train people or educate people on how to use certain things, and technology being a prime example, if we can use our powers for good and not evil, that's the thing. It's like power. It's like something just as broad and generic as power. Power can be used for good. It could cure, cancer. It can cure world hunger. It can cure disease and famine. Or it can be used to destroy nations. It just depends on your frame of mind when you're using that thing. It's not so much technology is evil. It's technology management needs to be in order for progression to occur and not destruction.
You've been playing Civ 5 recently?
No, I have not.
Yeah,
although that's very right up there.
Sounds very similar to
exactly. That's the whole philosophy of the game. I'll probably be playing that on our way to Taiwan because that is an amazing time killer.
Oh, you're right.
I think 13 hours, 13-hour flight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least I got started.
That'll get you. Yeah, that'll get you past like stage 1.
Yeah, we're not in chariots anymore.
Yep.
So yes, I demolished you with my technology.
All right.
I don't know.
Let's see what people think.
All right, what do we got? Preach it. Preach it.
Is technology good or evil? Also, Asian dating.
That's what I was saying earlier. I was like, whoa, man.
U.S. men aged 30 to 70.
You fall from that range, old timer.
Apparently.
iDateAsia.com.
Right. Results.
Bookmarked.
Oh, technology's good.
Yay.
As evidenced by all the ways we've invented to have sex with it. I didn't read you the whole...
I'm cool with that,
That's what you were arguing for, by the way.
No, yeah. I'm for it.
I had 25% of y'all saying technology's evil, but fuck it, let's ride this wave. And 33% of us have some middle ground here, but it's just nope. No choice.
It's good or bad.
Also, quite a few less people voted on this than on the last Strawpoll, but that's okay.
That's all right.
All right. Normally we would do Q&A right now, but we're out of time.
All right. It's Lumpia time.
And it is time for food. Oh my God. It's gonna be amazing. All right. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for the show, guys.
I have no Johnsons. Do you have any Johnsons?
I don't know.
I have no Johnsons.
I could check right now.
I have some vendors hitting me up from Computex.
I have a lot. There's a lot of parties we gotta register for.
We're gonna crush that shit. We're gonna crush it.
I got one Johnson. I got a Johnson for Daniel.
Damn, Daniel.
Daniel got a thumb screw shirt. Thank you, Daniel. Much obliged. Hope you enjoy that shirt.
Yep.
Hope it fits you well.
Cool.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching Awesome Hardware. We'll be back next week for another live show.
Yep. After party.
After party. What do you want to do? We're gonna have some lumpia. We could either play the Vive.
Ooh. Let's do that.
Or
we could do the Vive.
We could do the Vive.
Let's do the Vive.
We could set up the Vive.
Oh, VR after party. Yes.
VR after party?
Yes.
That could be fun.
Oh. Work off that lumpia.
That's true. It's a good idea. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching.
Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one. We'll see you all later.
Adios.
This has been Awesome Hardware.
Signing off.